Welcome to another video in Profitable Media. Yes, this time we're going to talk about research and how research helps you with creative strategy to get insights. How can you turn that into valuable information that you can actually use for ads or your social media content? And this is also using AI, different, some AI tools, basically LLMs, because that's the process that is the fastest way you can do it now. Before you used some specialized tools for this, but now you have GPT, Gemini, NotebookLM, and other tools with pretty good results.
You're going to be leveraging AI to have let's just say a new brand that comes in, to not knowing anything about it, to understanding what the customers say about the brand, or just the overall messaging of the brand, to you know create these ads
Yeah.
with the right messaging.
Yeah, all this is going to be based on an actual website. We're going to use like a brand for this example, which is called Gengivi, which is a mouthwash. The proposition is whole body wellness. The website is going to be like the core to for these examples and how you can actually like extract the information that maybe you already know, but with these tools. And this framework marketers have been using since the beginning, which is the company research, the consumer, the category, and the culture. Basically, this helps you know who is the brand, who's the customer, what's the market saying, and where's the culture moving, or information that is not like specifically attached to your brand, but it's helpful for the market where you are. The first one is gathering context about the brand, which is basically understanding the brand goals, position, and performance. You are supposed to know all of this, but maybe with this, with this prompting and with these tools, you can actually like do the same exercise with one of your competitors and actually see what you're missing or how can you do it for your brand. In this case, is asking the AI to summarize the brand, collect some metrics, clarify goals, and identify the positioning. And all of this again based on the website. But the tools that you can use, like I told you, GPT, Gemini, Google Studio, NotebookLM, which is a very powerful tool that Google like implemented this not too long ago, like just a few years ago, and it has become a very powerful tool for research because in this tool you can like basically put different sources, documents from you, websites, YouTube videos, and even the research documents that you can create with AI
Oh,
to
that's
actually
cool.
have like a, I don't know, like a brain trust or a mini library of
S-
information that helps you.
So when it comes to like YouTube, for example,
Mhm.
will it like summarize the transcript of the YouTube video, or will it actually watch the YouTube video? Like, what is it
Yeah,
getting?
it summarizes the script. It takes the script from the YouTube video
Okay,
and takes the information from that. I know it also reads like images and text that you have like captions, but yeah, it's based on the transcript of the video, which is
gotcha.
already very powerful. Then for the consumer, people know its motivations, fears, buying barriers, the audience. And yeah, the best practice to do this is like going to Amazon, reading reviews, looking also in YouTube comments. This, for example, not for GenTV, for a different brand. There's some websites that you can literally like paste the link and ask GPT to do the research based on that link. Not all websites allow that. For example, Amazon doesn't allow that. You could potentially like download a website. You can print it and you can save it as a PDF. With
Hmm.
that, you can have that information.
Yeah, I mean there might be a software out there that helps scrape the
Yeah,
reviews, but for now, like we'll do what we can.
there's also, for example, GigaBrain for Reddit, which is
Yeah.
actually a tool that does that, but specifically for Reddit. But in this case, again, for decoding the consumer, is basically going to read these comments. So yeah, with consumer insights, the most important thing, the data can tell you just so much. Like for example, maybe data tells you that people buy your product at midnight. The real important thing for this is okay, but why? Why do they buy at that specific time? Is there an emotion attached to that? Is there a process? Is there something they see? Is there something they know? Something their family told them? That is the important part. AI can help you like unlock, but with those questions, maybe doing back and forth and then try to reverse that information, etc. For the category, this is more in the space of specialized tools like SEMrush, and there's new ones like Feed AI. In the case of YouTube, for example, vidIQ, this is where the ad libraries like TikTok, the TikTok Creative Studio, and the Meta ad library comes into play. And this is to find the visuals, also like the copy, what is the market saying, like what is the proposition that everybody says. For example, in the space of mouthwashes, we found out, and probably everybody knows, it's always about the breadth. Finally, for the cultural research, in this case, is finding what people is saying, but not necessarily about your product, but on the whole, like cultural space, or this market space. Like I told you, like hygiene, memes, or trends. That context and that insights also tells you what this type of consumer that is worried about their health is thinking. Why is that important? Because yeah, when you're actually writing the copy or you have a copywriter and you have all those like information, you can say, okay, people that is worried about like their gut health and their mind, you can use like phrases, facts around that and adapt them to your product, to what your product does for them. Basically, with that information, you can make your ad strategy. I'm going to show you like actual prompts that I will use in this case, just to show you what the AI can help you with. So for example, for the first part that I told you, the brand assets and positioning. With this, you can have like this general information based on your own website or again your competitor's website, right? But also you can use like for example the deep research function that these tools now have, which is very powerful because basically this is what you would do manually. Go to different websites, gather the information, copy it to a document, and in this case I use the exact same prompt but using the research on GPT. And you can also see like the exact same prompt, but using, in this case, Gemini. And you can see the foundation, the product, the positioning, the market analysis. Also,
Yeah, wow.
is
That looks
is
cool.
doing the price codes, the product features, yeah, and
Do
the
you think
function.
it's better than ChatGPT, or which one do you prefer?
I don't know. Sometimes I found better information on Gemini and sometimes in GPT. There's
Okay.
also another that it's very powerful, which is Manus. This AI is also like really, really good to do that kind of scrapping. But you can do the same thing here. This is NotebookLM. I mean, this is a tool from Google, and they basically their whole business is scrapping websites to sell you ads. So they are really good doing this. So again, with this, you can use a prompt like this, like let's say a product type, and go here, ask it. And again, this is only a source of information, but we can have several here, like a PDF, research document, etc. And again, this will give you a very good result that you can like use. Example, this is the product deep dive, right? The product variations, the core benefits versus features, the high margin products, etc. And here they are, right?
Oh, okay. So based on the different LLMs that you've used, which one would you say is the top one for market research? Or
I
which
would
one
s-
do you prefer?
I will stick with NotebookLM
Okay.
because GPT and Gemini, in most of their answers, they use general information from the internet. But in the case of NotebookLM, it's like very specific on the information that you give it. So the answers are more precise. So what can you do with this information? And this is me going several steps. Again, you can have a prompt for a deep dive of the product, the customer understanding, maybe funnel the experience, the messaging, the visuals, the competitors, and these cultural trends. And again, this is based on websites or links and emotional and psychological positioning. So after all of that, what you would do is like gather all the info in a document.
So, okay, so you put that prompt for each section and then you put it in
Yeah,
a separate document.
exactly. But
answer.
this would be, for example, a master document. And yeah, my general rule of thumb is using these prompts separate, not in the same chat.
Hmm.
So the info is not like crossed and it actually does like the research again.
Okay.
And then you have this document, right? The next step and to actually get your insights will be like using this kind of method prompts, which is this process for I don't know, for humans would be like talking to a teacher or talking to an expert and you're basically bouncing ideas. But why this process is important? Because yeah, you have the raw information, but then you need to like think through that information to actually, come with something very valuable for people. Questions like, why would your actual customer not care about this statement? Or what truth about human nature is hidden behind this behavior? What is the opposite of what the audience fears? This is what actually sparks creativity for the advertising. And for example, you can have perspective prompts, and this is not a joke. For example, phrases that yeah, you have all this info about Gen or brand, and then you ask what right phrases like a mom would say to her teen son about taking care of his gums
Interesting. Okay.
using the Gen product. I did one like before, and it says like if you want your girlfriend to love you, like start caring for your teeth and your gums.
Yeah. Okay.
You
So
know,
yeah, you're going in the minds of different
of different
consumers.
people and different
Yeah.
consumers, right?
Yeah.
And that type of perspective, emotional language, psychology archetypes, the general archetypes, this is what gives you like the actual, and yeah, actual copy and messaging that you can use. Obviously, after you have all these, yeah, you can have like a document of 100 pages, and then you have to decide
Uh,
what one to
and
apply.
then also like, I mean, if we had more context from the brand owner and they told us like this is where 80% of our customer base is or like who they are, then we could guide it better.
Yeah,
So, okay. But yeah, this is kind of more of like a general research, like if we were to not know anything. All
what is
right. And then
Gemini?
you organize everything in documents, put it all in documents, right?
For example, this is a presentation that after you gather all those insights and yeah, in this case, this is for me or this is to present for a client, you would put that concise information about what you found about people and then at the end, yeah, examples of what can you do with that information. In this case, this is a different brand, this is for an apparel brand, and these are scripts that are based on all that gathering info that you found. And you can have also information about competitors here. But yeah, basically this is all that you saw before. This is what it comes down on the creative. And that
Okay.
you touch the points that you found, are the best, or you aspire to be the best.
Okay. So once you do all this research, put it into a presentation. Uh, I guess to be a little bit more advanced, we could create a project on ChatGPT and input that presentation in there so it could have it as context. And then we could just prompt it to tell us to give us a script based off the presentation or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that could be like the next step after you have like your research polished and all your insights and data. You can have a GPT, like you said, or an application that you can always like go into, and if you want to create new creatives or get new ideas about the brand, and you don't have to do this again and again. If you want to create a static or a script, you can use that. You
Right.
can do that.
Yeah, that so market research helps a lot having AI. How much time would you say it saves you from doing all that research leveraging AI now?
I would say before all of this, you could spend like yeah, let's say 3 weeks, and then with these tools, you can potentially do it in days. What, like 4 or 5 days
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah, having the right prompts and
Yeah, and this is very good for brands who doesn't have access to, like big agencies or research teams or, anything like that. This is
Yeah,
very
because
unique.
market research is very crucial to understand the brand, the product, the consumers, and it's part of the advertising strategy as well.
I know some people skip it, maybe because of the deadlines that you have, but right now with these tools, I mean, you can do it as fast as you can, and
Yeah,
even
that's a
in
good point. That's a good point because yeah, there's other agencies where the media buyer, the junior media buyer will skip the research part and then just go straight to trying to run ads and figure it out without doing the market research.
after this, the next process would be like finding your angles, doing more creative approaches. But that is a different topic for another video.
Well, thank you for showing me this.
Thank you.